What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Jacob in Wisconsin as we're excited to bring you guys a live stream during training camp practice. Going to be giving you all the updates in real time, just in here talking Packers. It's going to be a great time. So if you would hit that like on the way in, do that YouTube stuff for us. Subscribe if you're new here. Welcome into PTA. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media members. What we are fans just like you out here talking Packers on a daily basis. So if you like Packers daily content, if you like pregame shows, postgame shows, film breakdown, the whole 9 yards, make sure you hit subscribe. And we appreciate you making us a part of your Sunday morning. And I know there's many people heading off to church right now, I'm sure. We typically, it never fails, Jacob. We do a Sunday stream around this time. Somebody will put in the comments, hey, walking in the building, or hey, I'm back here in the back pew trying to listen in. We don't want that. Don't make the roof cave in on that place, all right? Pay attention, and you can watch this later. But, Jacob, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing pretty good. Didn't think we'd have anybody following in, but all of a sudden we got a bunch of people following the chat here, and it's a beautiful day where I am, at least in Wisconsin. So I have to imagine that over there on the other side of the state, it's a really, really great day for practice. So here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Is at by Ryan Wood put the tweet out. We got Evan Williams riding the bike over. He was actually asked on his way to practice, seems like, the potential for a 16-team college football playoff. He said, quote, "That's too much." Got to love Evan Williams out here hanging out with the kiddies early on. And I know Matt LaFleur was at the podium just a second ago. We'll get a couple of quotes from him. We'll hit on that. We also had Josh Jacobs. I love this too. Josh Jacobs saving the pedals here. He decided, hey, don't risk the ankles on the pedals. Let's walk this thing down here, man. Love this tradition, though, Jacob, of riding the bikes to practice. It's something that I'm sure you've experienced, not with a bicycle, but being at camp before, that type of thing. I know many people that go to camp, this is kind of the highlight. So pretty cool. I think this was started by Vince Lombardi as well. So.
Yeah, it's a really great tradition. I actually I have experienced it, and my family. I have an uncle, Mr. Uncle Jeff. I got two awesome uncles, Uncle Mike and Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeff, though, we went to camp one year, and I swear on the Lord that he was elbowing children to get them out of the way so he could get up there and get some, like a handshake. We talk about it in our family quite a bit. Jeff has no shame. He was willing to put some kids in a hospital just to get up there in front row. And that must have been like around 2001, 2002, something like that. So, yeah, it's a great tradition.
Love it. Mrs. Green in the house. She's there with Tim, boots on the ground. He actually gave us this background shot that you're seeing right here. So really, really cool. She said it is hot here. I think they were expecting, like, I don't want to say record heat, but Matt LaFleur was asked about it a couple times during the press conference. He just kind of shrugged it off. But, man, it's going to be a scorcher out there, so you guys stay hydrated, Mrs. Green. And, listen, don't let Tim get out of control out there, all right? When I say hydrated, keep him away from the daddy sodas. All right, that stuff. At least it will hit you twice as quick in that kind of heat, Jake.
Yep. Yes, it will. So Tim is currently on site. Is that what's
correct.
Going on?
Yeah.
Tim is on site. Okay, cool. Is he gonna maybe call in? Is that what we maybe talked about?
Yeah, if he can. We told him, hey, if you get a shot, you want to step away, you get a chance, then jump on, call in. So we'll get his take there, boots on the ground. But here you see Rashawn Gary enjoying his bike ride to practice. Gary's a monster, dude. Look at that guy right there. Kidding me? And Josh Jacobs, too. Josh Jacobs, the thing I noticed about him, man, he's got some broad shoulders on that cat. No wonder he was running through people's faces last year. But I'm really excited to see what Rashawn Gary does this year. Mrs. Green said the Green Bay Distillery is right behind us and very tempting. So it is. I know it is. So you guys stay safe, stay hydrated out there. We had Matt LaFleur at the podium earlier this morning, Jacob. And I thought this was really cool. As he was asked, I can't remember if Matt Schneiden asked the question or not, but Matt Schneiden put the tweet out, said Matt LaFleur asked if Nate Hobbs needs to tone down his physicality during non-padded practice. Quote, "The answer is yes. I don't think it's malicious." Said that's a part of Hobbs' game the Packers like in free agency, man. How cool is it that you got a cornerback? Really, in all honesty, guys, what we did was we replaced Jair Alexander with Nate Hobbs.
Yeah.
Which here is the flashy, the fun loving, the cut up, right? The whole I want to celebrate and dance in your face. Yeah, exactly. Rap City, all that. Nate Hobbs sounds like a serial killer. You know what I mean? One of these just brings a different approach, and I think you want that on defense, man. You couple that with Rashawn Gary's intensity, right? And then
Cool.
you got Kenny Clark's calm demeanor. You know, he's very kind of the calming influence in the defensive room. Love the fact that Hobbs is going out there and just stirring things up, man. What do you think about that?
Uh, Man, I couldn't be more excited about that, honestly. We've for a long time, I think I touched on it last night. We've had a cornerback room that, has been a little bit, I don't want to say maybe patty cake type, corners. Jair had a stretch where he was willing to throw his shoulder in there. And then once he broke that arm or shoulder when he went in there, it seemed like he just absolutely kind of shied away from being like a big hitter type. And I think I said last night that the Packers were at one time a very physical cornerback team when you had the likes of Al Harris, Charles Woodson, Tremont Williams, guys that were willing to absolutely lay the wood, lay the thunder. And we kind of got away from that, in my opinion, a little bit as of late. And it's nice to know that Hobbs, like obviously we don't want him out there, sending guys to the hospital that are on our team. But I love the fact that the guy is willing. And he seems like he's like Adrian here says, he's setting the tone. He's telling people like, hey man, if you come into my zone, I'm gonna mess you up. And even if it's in practice, like, all right, tone it down a little bit there, Hobbs. But I love that. I love that energy. I love that aggressiveness. And it is starting to make me feel way more excited about that signing. At first I was kind of, I was like, man, we paid that guy some money. Same with the bank signing. I need to take a step back and realize that almost every single free agent signing that we've had in the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, especially under Gutekunst, has been really substantial to the point where like they've been difference makers. I mean, I really do think that Hobbs is coming in with a lot of intensity, and I think he's raising the bar for those other guys in that room saying, hey dude, this is how I play football. You guys want to get on board, or you want to just cast me out as some psycho? I want the psycho. I want that. That's what you need on defense. You need 11 guys that are absolutely willing to dedicate themselves, throw their bodies into basically oncoming traffic, which is what the equivalency is trying to hit some of these NFL players is. And I'm just excited. I like what Coach Lynn's talking about, how I've heard that Kalen King is also having a great camp. Have you heard anything more about that? Hey, look at that. Look at this. It's almost like we planned it.
I know it, man. Paul Brett,
we didn't.
We planned nothing on this show. Paul Brettel had a quote here from Matt LaFleur at the presser earlier. It says, quote, I think he's had a pretty impressive 3 days, LaFleur said of Kalen King. He's off to a really strong start, LaFleur says. And listen, we talked about this last year. We were expecting big things from Kalen King for a 7th-round pick, a guy that was highly touted coming out of college. Highly touted going into his final year of college, and then he just sank on draft boards, right? He kind of struggled his last year in college. Another perfect example, what we talked about, what happened with Jaden Reed. Take a step back your final year in college, and Goody goes back 2 years and says, that dude can play ball. Let's give him a shot. So, I'm excited about Kalen King. I think he's got some tools in the bag that will allow him to play slot if you need him to. I would rather see him on the corner, but it's going to be interesting to see how he plays out, or how he plays into this team here. Coach Lynn says Hobbs and Valentine working together will be huge for our secondary. I could not agree more, Coach, because they got that bond where they've known each other for so long that I think that's going to be magical. I really do, man. And Keyshawn, too. I seen somebody tweeted out earlier, Keyshawn Nixon was the first person on the practice field today. So Keyshawn, you think Keyshawn isn't hearing about Nate Hobbs? You think Keyshawn isn't hearing people like us talk about Carrington Valentine being the best corner in the room last year? Telling you, man, Keyshawn's a competitor, Jacob. I think he's cut more from the cloth of Nate Hobbs than Jair Alexander in terms of intensity and willing to hit and things like that. But he does bring a little more mellow approach than Nate Hobbs does. But what do you think about that with Keyshawn, and anything you want to add here with Kalen King as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've been always on the fence with Keyshawn. I'm not gonna lie, but every time I watch tape on him, he's just like Adrian saying here. He's a dog. He comes in and he is that type of cornerback that I really want all of our cornerbacks to be, where he's willing to lower the head. He's willing to lower his body and kind of make hits, and he's willing seemingly to do whatever they ask him to do. I know he had that, stint at the end of the year where they're like, I don't want to be returning kicks anymore. I don't know if that's going to hold true going into this, because he is a difference maker in that way. I really do believe that. And maybe he was just frustrated. And honestly, if you put a camera and a microphone on my face after I lose one of the most important things that I have, we forget that NFL players, that's their career, right? So like if you have the worst day of your job and somebody shoves a camera and a microphone in your face, I'd probably say some stupid stuff too. I'd probably say some stuff that like I wish I could take back. I'm not speaking for Keyshawn in any way, obviously. So, we'll have to let him decide what he thinks. But if I had my druthers, I would love Keyshawn returning kicks. I would love to maybe put somebody else back in punts and see how that works out. But I really do think that he is going to be, if not a starter, he's going to be an integral part of this team. I think he will still be a starter. I just don't necessarily know how that's going to pan out as far as the depth chart and everything else. But man, it's fun to have this conversation, because that's a great problem to have.
It really is, man. Ryan Wood just tweeted out this video. Everybody running on the field. You seen Savion? No helmet. What's that?
Brenton Cox, baby.
You got it. And Savion Williams did not have a helmet, so I imagine concussion protocol is still kind of playing that safe there. No big deal. Look at Big Anthony Belt, 71 here, Jake. Are you kidding me? Could you imagine lining up across from that guy? I mean, look, Carl Brooks is a big fella. Did you see Anthony Belton compared to Carl Brooks?
Yeah.
That is
big.
wild, man.
He big.
Rashawn Gary.
Look at Stackhouse.
Oh, yeah, big stack. Look at the legs, dude. And listen, he's not fat either, man. You see the arms are cut. He's just a big boy. There's Isaiah Simmons, number 28, right? We got Nate Hobbs there coming in, number 20. I love the fact that Nate Hobbs wearing 21, too. Does that not bring back good memories for you, Jacob?
Oh, 100%. Mr. Woodson. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So just kind of getting a look at everybody running the field. There's Edge, Big Ezra and Cooper. I'm excited about the season he's going to have. Look at Tucker.
Oh,
shredded, dude. Look at the body.
He is, dude, he's thick.
And Jordan's another one. No, look at, I'm not trying to be weirdo here, but Jordan's legs, like, does it not look like that dude put on a little bit of muscle too? Like, seriously. I remember him being skinny last year. Now, it looks like Jordan's kind of thickened up, and it reminds you of Brett Favre when he first came to the Packers. It seemed like year two, all of a sudden, boom, he looked like a linebacker. You know what I mean? Now, Brett was on as they said, Ed Touffet and hops, right? That my man was just shotgunning beers, how he put his weight on, not Jordan. Jordan out here taking care of his body.
Yeah, maybe some painkillers here and there. Who knows?
Yeah, but mix those in every now and again. So
thicken them up a little bit. But it is really great to see these guys. They all look in football shape. And I really, really look here. Coach Lund said he's 225 plus. If that's the case, man. And honestly, what it made me think of was, remember when Rodgers all of a sudden late in his career was like, hey, man, I've been working out legs a lot. And I realized that when I work out legs, it helps my whole body. I feel like that Jordan, after going through the injury riddled season that he had last year, was like, all right, I'm going to get in the gym and do maybe like that Saquon / Josh Jacobs. I'm not saying he's got to deadlift like 600 pounds or whatever those guys do, but like just get in there, do some attention to the legs, the old quads, the old hammies, and see if that maybe helps yourself with the stepping into the throws, that release, the footwork, all that. You can't tell me that doesn't help them. And look at Baron Sorrell right there. Oh, man, I'm so excited. This is so cool. Yeah. I love it.
Who's 49? Remind me who 49 is, because he looked fired up coming out of there. Probably somebody that won't be here tomorrow, right?
I actually was. I think I pitched this to you. I would love if we had like a segment where we got to know the new guys with the numbers. The problem is that we have to wait until after camp gets done, because right now we got guys that are dueling numbers right now. So
see if we got a 49 on this early depth chart here. Who is 49?
Alexander Deslin Alexander?
Deslin Alexander. Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Seeing these guys out here on the field. So. Looks like Tim just threw a tweet out here as well. We'll drop this down for a second. Pull up his tweet as we, like I said, got Tim. I bet you guys can't guess where Tim's hanging out, which side of the field, right? He's over there with the defense, baby. Quay Walker getting started on his work right away. So Quay Walker out there rehabbing once again. I love the fact that he's just doing everything he can to get ready for the season coming up. I'm really, really excited what Quay can put together here in 2025. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody piling in now. I got a huge crowd. If you guys would do us a big favor, take a quick second, hit that like button for us. If you're new here, subscribe. We'll be going live all year long. All the content you want, Packers daily content, will be right here on this channel. We appreciate y'all making us part of your early morning, afternoon, as we're about to break into the afternoon down here in the South. But I just want to, give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you all so much. When you hit that like button, it boosts the algorithm and lets other people know, hey, maybe this show doesn't suck. And when they get in here, they'll realize the show sucks, but at least they got in here. So we appreciate y'all doing that for us.
Could I add to also, just if you guys could share? I've seen a lot of studies that like sharing the stream really, really helps a lot. So like, subscribe, share if you could. That helps a ton.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to give a shout out to Wes Hykowitz. He had put a couple tweets out earlier from the presser. We'll hit on these as they're getting going through stretches and everything. Not Wes Hykowitz, but the players. LaFleur on Josh Jacobs mentoring Marshawn Lloyd. Quote, I think Josh has done a really good job of taking him under his wing and guide him. Jacob, you remember last year there was an article that came out. I can't remember who wrote it, but they said that Josh Jacobs was actually forcing Marshawn Lloyd to ride to practice with him. Like he's keeping him focused. Not that Marshawn Lloyd needs that. And I guarantee you Lloyd gave him permission. He probably went to Jacobs like, hey, man, I want to learn from you. Yeah. It's kind of like the Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams connection. How cool is it? And I don't think it's a coincidence either that you bring in Xavier McKinney in free agency and you draft two young safeties, two young DBs in Javon Bullard, who now seems to be more of a slot than a safety, but Evan Williams, so he can learn from that professional, that perfect professional that Xavier McKinney is. And then on the flip side, you go and sign Josh Jacobs on the offensive side of the ball, and then you draft Marshawn Lloyd, and they're lockstep. It's just one of those things that we're going to look up in 3 to 5 years, and hopefully they were hits in the draft, and now they've got to learn from two of the best. That makes sense. So as Adrian says here in the chat, see you, buddy. He says Josh Jacobs is an awesome leader. What do you think about that, though, Jacobs taking Marshawn Lloyd under his wing like that?
I think that's the reason why we're so meticulous and pinpoint with how we sign our free agents. We don't do it willy-nilly. We don't just grab guys off the street and say, hey, we're going to plug and play you right here. I really do believe that Gutekunst and prior GMs and front office people understand that there's a situation where you can't just plug and play guys that aren't going to be a fit for this community, for this team, for being mentors. I think that when they got these guys, they understood that, hey, Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, let's just say for this last, few years here, they're the type of guys that come in and make your team immediately better, not just by their presence, but by the way that they're willing to lift other people up, like a high tide rises all boats kind of thing. And I really do think that was a difference maker in deciding whether or not they're going to sign this guy or that guy. They say, all right, you can come in and you can be a superstar. We don't necessarily just sign guys because they can be superstars. We want them to come in and lift everybody up around them. And I couldn't, I know when we signed Josh Jacobs, I said, man, he's got such big shoes to fill for Aaron Jones to see if he can actually come in and make a difference there. Wasn't so much in the safety room because X was coming in and absolutely making that safety room immediately better because of what we had the year before. But I just say that both those guys, they came in and they didn't just say, hey, I'm a stud, I'm a superstar, this is me, grovel at my feet kind of thing. Like you said, Jacobs is like, hey, bro, I'm going to take you to practice. Come with me. Come learn with me. Like, let's do this together. Xavier is absolutely, in my opinion, teaching Evan Williams, even guys like Bullard, the man, the myth, the legend. Who's the guy that doesn't exist? I can't remember him now. Zane Anderson.
already making you forget about him, right?
Yeah, right. No, it really is. Hey, this is a great point. Like Coach is saying, this is why I have a lot of hope for Simmons, Isaiah, because I really do think that's like Quay's going to come in and start, helping him out. I think that that Edge is going to do the same thing. Like I really do have a lot of hope for Simmons because of the way that the past free agents have came in and just understood their role. Like we didn't just sign you to come in and be a guy. We came in and be a team guy. And it's more important in Green Bay, I would argue, than most organizations. And that, again, I take my hat off to Goody and the front office because everybody gives them criticism for not making so many moves. We make pinpointed small moves that absolutely help the team. Yep. And I think that's very underrated in this day and age.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Completely agree. So another point that was made here from Wes Hykowitz, LaFleur had a quote where we're definitely going to have some tackle periods in camp. So that'll probably start Monday when the pads come on. And again, shout out to Easton Butler. To the best of my knowledge, no one else had this information. We were told Sunday, today was going to be the first padded practice. Easton Butler put a tweet out. He heard from a player that the padded practice has been pushed back to Monday. Lo and behold, you've seen the guys running out, no pads. So Easton Butler, man, is plugged in as any.
Got to follow him. He's been just dropping dimes for years now. Got to follow him.
And then Wes Hocowitz also pointed out with Paul Brettle's tweet where he was talking about Kalen King. He said King bouncing back well after undergoing wrist surgery. I forgot all about that wrist surgery with Kalen King that was mentioned earlier in the year. So definitely keep your eye on that as well. We got some news here from Matt Schneidman on Aaron Banks, it looks like. He says Aaron Banks has a helmet on and is participating in the beginning of practice after missing a day and a half with a back injury. So that's a great sign, Jacob, as you look at this offensive line. You listen, Aaron Banks is a pro. He's been in the league for several years now, but you still got to create some of that chemistry, right? You want as often as possible. That's why we want Elton back as soon as possible as well. You want it to be your starting five. And to me, it looks like it's going to be Rasheed Walker left tackle, Aaron Banks left guard, Elton Jenkins center. Sean Ryan's listed at right guard. I personally think it's going to be Jordan Morgan. And then right tackle, Zach Tom. You want to get those guys working together. It kind of feels like leave it at those five, and then throw in Jordan Morgan and Anthony Belton. That kind of feels like your starting seven there that's going to rotate in and out as injuries occur, things like that. So as Adrian says, excited for the O-line this year. What do you think about Aaron Banks having his helmet, though, man? That seemed like it was just a minor tweak of the back, and they were playing it safe.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. And, we paid that guy money. And just like I said about Hobbs, this is a free agent signing where – I'll be honest, when it happened, I was like, ugh, I don't understand this. I look at the PFF grade. I think we're way too biased sometimes with certain metrics, that like we get inside of our own head. But I'm really excited to see how Aaron Banks is going to come to fruition in this offense. And I don't think that we would have signed him if he didn't fit perfectly with what they know that they want to do with that offensive scheme, with that, I don't know if we're going to do more duo, if we're going to do more zone, whatever the case is, whatever we plan to do, they see him in our future. I have to take a step back as just a guy sitting on the couch and be like, well, I wouldn't have signed him. Okay. Well, I would have done a lot of things that they do, and it ends up being very, very smart. And so I'll just say that I'm willing to sit back, be a fan, take it, with a grain of salt, and understand that these guys have a vision of what this team is going to be this year. And I'm just along for the ride. I'll commentate as we go along. I think that's great. But yeah, it's great to see him back. And just because, when you see anything with back injuries with offensive linemen, I immediately kind of get, scared out of my mind. With some of the money that we paid him. I understand that. But it is, I will say one thing too, is that with Jordan Morgan and with Belton, is it frustrating that they're not in the guaranteed offensive lineup, starting five? Yeah, a little bit, but that's not exactly the game we're playing right now. These are puzzle pieces, chess pieces, I would argue, that we put in place that aren't necessarily just for right now, right here. It's the fact that these guys couldn't be starters and longtime starters in this league for a long time. So I'm very excited about the potential of this offensive line, even if we don't have some of these guys starting on day one. I think that they're going to eventually be a very integral part of that piece.
Yeah. Listen, there's nothing wrong with playing it safe, guys. Look at this schedule. Look at this training camp schedule here, right? We got Murph in the house. Wait a minute. What? Oh, go ahead.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. What is this? I walked into a midday live. I'm here for it. Hey, Murph, pull up a seat, man. Pull up a seat, crack open whatever your beverage of choice is. Mandy's got me on these Alani energy drinks right now.
Oh, we saw those at the gym. Yeah,
bro, pretty darn good, man. I'm rocking the peach right now. Let me tell you, the cherry slushy. Mandy's like,
that's our big seller.
He's like, don't think it's safe that you're drinking that many. I'm like, I don't care. So yeah, they're pretty good though, man. Go ahead, sponsor the show, Alani. I think that's how you say it, Alani. Yeah,
it's Alani.
So anyway, when you talk about these injuries, we're 3 practices in, and they were holding guys out in practice 2. Like, this is a long training camp schedule, not near as long as it used to be. But guys, the last thing you want to do is push it the first week, and then we look up, around the 5th of August, and we got 3 guys on IR because we pushed it too hard, right? I mean, let's just be honest about it. And again, it'd be different if it's someone's kind of a bubble roster guy, where you got to get a look at him and he wants the opportunity. These are guys that are locked into the roster. Play it safe, man. Play it safe. Packers on top in the chat says, I'm going to the practice tomorrow and the family night. Let's go. That's awesome.
Hey man, if you get any good shots, send us over, maybe through the, what do you call it? X, send it through the X to Clayton or Tim, and maybe we can get you some shots on the screen here.
I was going to say, anybody, everybody, I have people message me, hey man, what can I do to send you, clips and stuff like that? The best thing to do is just tag me on Twitter, tag me in a tweet, or send it in the DM. The DMs will always be open on Twitter. We're not snobs here like that. So just send them over that way, and that's the best way to get it to me. That's like Tim, I've got notifications on for Tim. That way when he tweets, we'll have what he's got. But Paul Brettel said practice number 4 underway. As you can see, Malik Willis out there, Jordan Love throwing back-to-back. I know you guys probably gotten tired of hearing me say it, but I'm so damn glad that Malik Willis is our backup quarterback, man. Again, it's not that I think Malik is all world or anything, although he played pretty darn good last year.
He played good.
The thing I like about it is there's nothing more depressing than the thought of if our starting quarterback goes down, we're screwed. And that was how I always felt with Aaron. It's how I felt with Brett too. Now, Brett never went down, but the thought that, man, if Aaron goes down, it's going to be, whoever, insert name. Oh, that's depressing. The fact that you got Malik Willis on the bench, if Jordan does get a little banged up at some point, I don't find myself going, crap, Malik Willis is starting. I find myself going, all right, let's go. Let's see what Matt LaFleur's got in his bag this week with the zone read. You know what I mean?
I think what's more impressive is that we've known what Malik had in his legs, his playmaking ability. If you watch his tape at Liberty, the dude was just, God, I'm honestly surprised he didn't go higher in the draft with just how impressive he was. I think what's more impressive than that was that he got to the NFL, he got to the show. We saw what he did, and those games where Love couldn't play, and he went in there and absolutely won. Like, didn't he win every game he started for us? Like, the guy was just an absolute stud. Yeah. And when he goes in there now looking at him, I think that's most impressive about him is that he's honed his actual arm, his accuracy, the way that he's throwing the ball right now. I'm telling you, I guarantee you the Titans wish they had him back. I guarantee you that they wish that they had him back. And like you said, Clay, even, this is a kind of an aside, any single fantasy draft that I'm in, if I have Jordan Love as my quarterback, my last pick of the draft is Malik Willis, just simply because I know that if Jordan Love goes down, God forbid, something, if whatever happens, that Malik is going to come in and he's absolutely a stud. The guy can get you. Go back and watch Malik Willis highlights from last year. It is really impressive. And I'm talking like really impressive. The guy just seems to know ball. It seems like whatever happened when he came to Green Bay, something clicked in his head where he could make the throws. He knows when to tuck it, when to run. He knows how to run, where the sticks are. Like it is a little bit impressive. And I would attribute some of that now to him being a complete quarterback, to the fact that the Green Bay Packers organization knows how to groom and make quarterbacks really, really well. You know what I mean? Like they really do have that kind of, it's a quarterback whisperer type team. I know people like to talk about Kevin O'Connell and other, coaches that have a way to kind of get the most out of their quarterbacks. I would argue that Matt LaFleur has to be in that conversation as well. Yeah,
no, completely. And again, I tend to lean towards it was more LaFleur than Malik Willis. But one play that sticks out to me was at Lambeau. I think it was against the Colts. Malik throws like a 15-yard out route, and it goes right by the DB's fingertips. And Matt LaFleur was mocked up for that. Matt LaFleur said, that's a big-time throw. That's a baller-ass throw is what he said. I think that was the exact words he used. So, there you go, Holmes. Fans did not appreciate how good his arm is. Completely agree. I'll tell you what else they don't appreciate, Holmes. Look at our boy Christian Watson out here getting the crowd amped up. Ryan Wood just tweeted this out. Look at him getting them going. Absolutely awesome to see number 9 out there.
I'm telling you, he's moving, dude. What is going on?
And here's the thing, too, with Christian, and the reason it's so valuable, I think, that they keep him around and why I want them to extend him, as soon as they as soon as they have confirmed, hey, the knee's good, there's no extra damage there, because, sometimes that stuff can kind of resurface, right? When you get to that point, get this guy an extension. Give him a market value extension based off what he's done up to this point and kind of, maybe a little bit of what you're projecting him to do. Yeah. Because the leadership he adds to that wide receiver room, right? The way he handled the Romeo Dobbs situation last year when Rome got suspended, he was the leader in that room. He's willing to block. He's willing to put his body on the line. He's a good 50-50 ball catcher, as we seen last year. They started to put that together. He's got blazing speed. He's got size. He's got everything you want in a franchise wide receiver, other than being able to stay healthy, which, again, when I look at that with Christian Watson, the way he got banged up, and there was a couple of freak plays that just happened. And also, when he tears his ACL last year, keep this in mind. And I'm not trying to pile on Romeo. That's not the point here. But Romeo Doubs missed that game because he was sick, said he couldn't go, right? So he sits out because he's sick. And Christian Watson hounded the hell out of the coaches that he wanted to be out there with his team against the Bears. And then he's recovering from, all the injuries that he had sustained, trying to get the hammy right. I think it was a quad last year. Or no, it was a knee bruise. Remember, he took that real funny hit when he landed on it in the end zone after, I think, scoring a touchdown, I believe. Maybe it was an incomplete pass. But that's what kind of led to the ACL in the knee there. So, again, man, I think it's just somebody that leadership has value. It really does. Get that dude. I'm not saying you go break the bank and give him $35 million per. And I'm full disclosure. If Christian Watson's asking for top wide receiver money, like number 1 wide receiver money, top 3 wide receiver money, I'm not willing to pay that. I'm not. But a fair market value, which is going to be damn good money, I think he's worth it too.
Yeah, and it's I hate saying this in a way like trying to capitalize on the situation, but he's injured right now. We don't quite know what his comeback is going to be. I'd offer him a bag right now. Not a huge bag, like you said, not number 1 wide receiver type money, but I'd go to him and say, hey, do you understand the situation we're in? We kind of need you on this team in a certain aspect. Like, are you willing to take a deal like that? Maybe kind of like a Zach Tom deal is basically what I'm talking about, where it's like, yes, we understand,
yes,
just let's do it now. Like, while we're like literally in the midst of him rehabbing, telling you, okay, man, like, we understand what you're going through. We're here for you. We want you to succeed. We know what you can be for this team. And maybe just him having a little bit of, continuity, a little bit of security in his self as a, it's tough to be a guy going into his first contract after the rookie, signing and that kind of stuff. And obviously his dad is in his ear, and I'm sure like his dad has everything, his best intentions for him. But I just think that Christian Watson is a Packer, man. He's such a Packer, and everything about him screams that he should be a Packer. And I'm one of those guys that I'm a little biased because if you even watched the draft day when we drafted him, it was me and Ryan's kid. Those were Christian Watson was our guy, man. When he got drafted, I literally almost pooed my pants. I was so excited about it. It was, I never really get those things right. Like where I want a guy, I got my guy, and we draft him. It just rarely ever happens. Javon Bullard was one of them. Christian Watson was one of them. And I need both these guys to prove me right. So let's go, man. Let's go.
Love it. Let's see here. Tim actually got a new tweet out. Let's go to our correspondent there on the ground, Mr. Tim. He said, details. We'll make sure it's muted. We don't want to hear any coaching secrets here, but we'll hit the video. As you can see, the defensive group.
Is that Stackhouse?
I think that might be Stack. Let's see. Kind of hard to tell. He looked big enough.
Man. God, it's big, man.
Gary out there as well. Love
look
it, dude.
Gary.
You see Kenny in the background there. Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Rip.
Little Wyatt. There we go.
Bang. Oh, look, was that Brenton Cox Jr., I believe, Jacob?
I believe so.
There's you got, right?
There's Wooden. There's Brenton right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's sticking up a lot, too, in my opinion, man. So,
hey, look what we got here.
Hey, we got him. We'll give him a second to get settled in here. Tim, you just unmute when you're ready, man. No rush at all, buddy. I know it's probably hectic over there. But, yeah, just playing your video here that you just tweeted. Really, really cool, man. So, yeah, it looks like that was Stackhouse. So, all right, let's go with Tim here. And it may be hard to hear. We'll see, though. Tim, let's try it out, man. How you doing over, buddy? You staying? Look at he found a shade tree. That's what I'm talking about.
Man, I'm across the street, man, ducking down under a tree. Dude, it's hot out here. I can hear you guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Good.
Awesome. It's intense practice, guys. Real intense right from the get-go. A lot of screaming and yelling. Real men work in the heat, right?
Hey, I heard that downstairs. Mandy had our niece running the vacuum. I heard the yelling, and I just came back up here, man. I'm like, I'm going live early today. So, so the energy's good, right? We noticed that Anthony Belton actually had his helmet with him when he went out on the field. Aaron Banks is another one that I think they said he had his helmet on. Now we noticed that Savion did not, and you're over on the defensive side of the ball, which that's a great video you just tweeted out. What's sticking out to you so far other than the intensity, man? Anything today other than the heat?
Quay Walker's progress. It seems like every day he's closer. They had him doing even more today, working on the start, stop, and shoot, agility drills, kind of monitoring that ankle. I think he's going to be a full go here before we know it, guys. And that bodes well for our linebacker room for sure.
That's great news there, man. Great news for sure. And, Isaiah Simmons, the more I'm digging into that and what we're hearing reports out of camp, seems like he's settling in real nice. Matt LaFleur was asked at the presser earlier, right, probably while you guys were over there in line getting into the practice facility. But he was asked about Nate Hobbs' intensity or whatever. Does he need to dial it down? Matt said, yeah, but it's not malicious. So sounds like Nate Hobbs is kind of steering the ship over there in terms of the DB room. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a vocal leader, but he's also a lead by example guy, much like 52 there you just saw on your screen, Mr. Rashawn Gary on the front. So it's nice having a guy like Nate Hobbs in that cornerback room to be that leader. And then, of course, you've got, Xavier McKinney in the safety room doing the same thing. So we are poised with a lot of, veteran leadership and, youthful talent on this defense. And I think we're going to look really good this year, guys.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. One last question here, Tim. Ron Sample in the chat said Savion has his helmet now, according to Matt Schneidman. You're probably on the opposite side of the field, I would imagine. If you see any, catch any wind of that or whatever, just shoot a tweet out. We'll be following your Twitter account all day long.
I will do that. I'll keep an eye out for him for sure.
Yeah, really eager to see how quick Savion gets back out there. Jacob, do you have something, man?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Tim, from your perspective, is there anybody that you see that just jumps off the field as far as like just looking incredible as far as their stature? Is there anybody that looks thicker? You know what I'm saying? Like get that Halfley that he looks thick. Is there anybody that seems like they progressed quite drastically from year to year, in your opinion?
Kind of hard. Most of the question, I think it's a thickness factor question.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Nas Stackhouse looks
there you go.
Looks like a monster.
Just said that.
My wife actually made a great observation. She's out here with me today too. She noticed that he seems to have a little bit shorter of reach, kind of something we were talking about when we were putting a draft grade on him, and maybe one of the reasons why he became a UDFA ultimately. But he looks good out here and he's working hard. I see him doing a lot of one-on-one with Rashawn. Rashawn kind of seems to be taking him under his wing a little bit. So I think the thickness factor goes to Nazir Stackhouse for sure. And then, of course, our boy Bretton Cox Jr., it looks like he put on another 10 pounds of muscle between, I don't know, yesterday and today or something. I don't know. He looks bigger every time I see that guy.
Yeah, I noticed that too, man, when he was close to the camera just a second ago. And you could tell it's good weight too. It's not bad. It's not the weight I'm carrying. You know what I'm saying? It's the good stuff. So all right, buddy, we'll let you get back to it, man. You stay hydrated out there. And if you want to jump back on, you just jump back on anytime.
For sure. If not, I'll see you guys tonight.
All right, appreciate you, Tim.
Take care. See you.
That is the guy who's officially.
There we go.
Bye, guys.